Welcome back, class. So far in this course, we have learned about the formation of the p-type and n-type materials. P-type and n-type semiconductor materials, and then we learned about the conductivity of the p and n-type materials and how we can actually calculate the current density and the other factors for these two materials. So we have learned that basically in p-type materials, okay, so basically we have acceptors ions, and in the n-type materials we have donor ions. Okay, acceptor ion are basically negative ion and the donor ion are basically the positive ions. Like if we just do the doping in the semiconductor materials, then we can get the p-type and n-type materials. And we also learned that in the p-type, okay, our majority carriers are holes, and in the n-type our majority carriers are electron. Okay, so far we have learned about that how we can get this thing. Okay, so now in this chapter, okay, we are going to focus that if we combine p and n-type materials, okay, then what will happen, okay, and what will be the change in the configuration of the crystal, okay, and how it will look like. Okay, so basically we combine p-type and n-type semiconductor materials to form the semiconductor devices. Okay, so once we combine p and n-type materials, so basically we get a diode. Okay, so diode is one of the semiconductor device which is widely used for the wide range of applications, which we are going to discuss later on. Okay, so here in this chapter we are going to learn that what will happen if we combine p and n-type semiconductor materials. So let's have a look. So this is just illustration of the p and n-type materials. So we have the acceptor ions, which are basically negative ions, and these green colors are basically donor ions in n-type, which are positive ions. So here we are having the majority carriers are electron, and in the p-type the majority carriers are holes, right? So this is the basics, we know that. Okay, now if we just combine these two, we combine both of them. Okay, so usually we combine using a process which is called diffusion. Diffusion means you just want to diffuse joint to different materials. Okay, so here we can see that we have combined the p and n-type, okay, semiconductor material. Okay, so basically we are not joining during mechanical push. Okay, this is not a mechanical process which actually disrupt the structure of the semiconductor material. Okay, this is like we're just bringing the p and n-type materials closer together. Okay, so what will happen? So basically when we combine p and n-type materials, okay, a junction will formed, okay, at this point, okay, which we referred as p and n junction. Okay, so this is just like the combining of the two p and n-type will create a junction. Okay, now as I discussed earlier, okay, in the p-type, okay, the majority carriers are holes, right? And in the n-type, the majority carriers are electrons, right? Which is basically negative charge particle, and hole is the positive charge particle. Okay, and the other thing is we know that, okay, so in the p-type semiconductor materials, the holes have high concentration, right? Okay, as compared to the the electrons. Okay, in the p-type materials, the there is high concentration of the holes, and in the n-type materials there is high concentration of the electrons, because electrons are the majority carriers, okay, in the n-type materials. Okay, so here we are having the high concentration of holes. Okay, these are my holes and these are my electrons. Okay, so we know that there is a basically gradient. Okay, so in this block we have high concentration of holes, and here we have the low concentration of holes, right? And vice versa, here we are have the high concentration of electrons, okay, and here we are having the low concentration of electron. Okay, so this is the basic gradient principle. Okay, for example, water will flow from a high level to a low level. Okay, so here we are having the high concentration of the holes, and and here we are having the high concentration of the electrons. So from this side, because the holes have high concentration, hole will diffuse towards the n junctions, and from this side, because the concentration of electron is high, so electrons will diffuse towards the p-type semiconductor materials. Okay, so there will be diffusion, there will be movement of the holes towards the n-type, and there will be diffusion of the electrons, okay, from the n-type to the p-type. Okay, so this is we just call diffusion of holes and diffusion of electrons. Okay, now what will happen? Okay, so these holes are moving towards this side, these electrons are moving towards this side. Okay, so basically because of this, okay, so there will be a flow of current, because positive and negative charges are moving. Okay, so this current is basically called diffusion current. We call this diffusion current. Okay, now actually what is happening? Okay, so from this side the holes are coming, from this side electron are coming. Okay, so there one is positive charge and one is the negative charge. Okay, and we are getting high and high concentration of the electrons around this region, right? So we are getting high concentration of the electron on, around this region. Okay, so basically in this region now, okay, these like golden particles, you can see that. Okay, so we are getting one positive hole and one negative electron. Okay, so they will be recombined, positive and negative ions. Okay, so basically when they are recombined, we will get the neutral condition, right? Okay, so basically here the recombination of charges will occur, and what will happen with the recombination of charges? Okay, those charges will be neutralized. Okay, so the holes which were actually drifting towards the n-type and the electrons which were drifting towards the p-type here, okay, now they are neutralized due to the recombination of the charges. Okay, and here we are getting nothing, and now here in this region we only have these ions. Okay, so this was our original the donor ions, right? This was our original donor ion, positive ion, and this is our original acceptor ion, which was negative ion. Okay, so now in this region, okay, we are just getting these ions. Okay, so basically, okay, these layers of ions, okay, okay, let's have a look here. Okay, so the holes move towards this side and the electron move towards this side, and finally due to the recombinations, the holes and electrons are surfaced out. Okay, and we just got the original donor ion and the acceptor ion here. Okay, so these are the negative and positive ion here. So basically this will form a depletion region. Okay, around the at the junction point. Okay, so this is we call this as a depletion region. So basically in this region, okay, there is basically no free charge. Okay, there is no free charge carrier. Okay, the for example here, okay, the charge carrier, the hole were diffusing towards the n type, the electron they were diffusing towards the p type. There are the free charge carriers. Okay, but at the junction points, no, they are surfaced out due to the recombination. Okay, so now here we are just having the original layer of ions. Okay, like the positive ions and negative ion here. Okay, so there is no any other free charge carrier. So basically here at the junction point, okay, we will get a depletion region. Okay, now what will happen once we get this depletion region? Okay, let's look at this. Okay, so this is just an illustration of the same concept which I explained here. Okay, so basically the movement of the like the holes and the electron, and finally we will get a depletion region here. Okay, now what will happen with the depletion region? Okay, so basically there is no free charge carriers. Okay, so here we are just having the positive ion and here has negative ion. Okay, now here they were hole, okay, the majority carriers, and they want to move towards this one. Okay, but these holes will be repelled by this positive charge. Okay, the hole is positive, we have positive ion layer here. Okay, we are getting the positive ion here and negative ion. So these holes will be repelled by the positive ion. Similarly, here the electrons which want to move towards this end, okay, the electrons will be repelled by the negative ions. Okay, now basically this depletion region, okay, is stopping the flow of free charge carrier. Okay, so we get a layers of the positive ions here and negative ions here, and these are repelling the movement of the free charge carrier and stopping the flow of charge carrier. Okay, so and actually next is what is happening. Okay, we get a positive charge here, we get a negative charge here. So whenever we like have a positive charge at one side and the negative charge at other side, okay, so basically electric field will be generated. Okay, and the electric field will be from positive to negative side. Okay, so because here like you can see, okay, we get the concentration of the positive charges here, okay, at this side, okay, at the depletion region, and the negative here. Okay, so this positive and negative ion concentration, we will get a depletion region. Okay, and there will be electric field from positive to negative ion here. Okay, why we are getting this? Okay, now once this depletion region is formed, okay, so there will be no movement of the free charge carriers. Okay, so due to the difference of charges, we are getting electrical field, and there will be actually voltage drop. Okay, across here. Okay, sorry, positive and negative. Okay, because this is a positive charge and negative charge, so we will get a voltage drop, okay, across here, which is actually called as a barrier potential. Okay, or built-in potential barrier. Okay, we call this barrier potential or built-in barrier potential or potential barrier. Okay, and we learned that there are two main kinds of the semiconductor materials. Okay, silicon and germanium. Okay, so basically in silicon, okay, the value of this potential is around 0.7 volt, and for germanium this value is around 0.3 volt. Okay, so basically we get a potential drop here of 0.7 volt, which is actually stopping the flow of the charges. Okay, now so basically this configuration, okay, is actually called as the diode. Okay, so we are getting the here we are having the positive p type. Okay, and this is the schematic of the diode, and here we have the n type. Okay, this is called anode or positive, this is called cathode or negative. Okay, so now what is actually happening? Okay, here we have got a voltage drop of 0.7 volt. Okay, now if we want to start the flow of the charge carriers, okay, now basically we have to supply some external energy in the form of a battery. Okay, so once we attach some external energy, then it will be able to start the flow of the electrons. Okay, this thing, okay, we are going to discuss in the next chapter. Okay, so basically when we apply the external biasing, external energy, okay, then we will be able to change the internal characteristics of the crystal, and the flow of the electrons will start it again. Okay, we are going to study in the next chapter in more details. Okay, so here we have to understand this thing. Okay, that we are getting the potential barrier here. Okay, and that will stop the flow of the electron. And for silicon, the value of this potential barrier, the charge is 0.7 volt. Okay, and for germanium this is 0.3 volt. Okay, now to start the flow of electron, you have to supply the external voltage, okay, which is greater than this. If the semiconductor is made of silicon, and if it is made of germanium, we have to supply more than 0.3. so as I told in the first lecture, silicon is one of the most commonly used semiconductor material, which is used for the construction of the semiconductor devices. So usually in this book, in this chapter, in this whole course, we will be referring to the silicon, that the barrier potential is 0.7 volt. So this is like the same thing, the barrier potential will be occurring here. Okay, so we learned up till this thing. Okay, so initially we got the diffusion current. Okay, right, due to the movement of the holes and the electron. Okay, but we also know that, okay, that holes were the majority carriers, but here we also have the minority carrier. Minority carrier was electron, right? Okay, and here the minority carrier in the p type, n type, the minority carrier were holes. Okay, so far we have just discussed the movement of the majority carrier, holes towards this side and the electron towards this side, and we got the diffusion current. Okay, so basically there will be a movement of the, there will be a drifting, okay, there will be diffusion of the minority carrier also. Okay, the electron, okay, will try to move towards this one, the minority carrier, and the holes from this side, it will try to to be attracted towards the negative ion charges. Okay, the electrons will be attracted towards the positive ion charges, and the holes, okay, here it will be attracted towards the negative ion charges. Okay, so basically this drifting of the minority carriers, okay, we get another current which we call drift current. Okay, and under the thermal stability, okay, under the thermal stability, our the majority carrier current, diffusion current will be equal to the drift current, the current flowing through the minority charge carriers. Okay, I have discussed this thing earlier on. It's more details. Okay, so this is just telling about the summary of this chapter, what we have learned. Okay, so basically we get depletion region, and there is a voltage drop here. Okay, and this voltage drop we also represent like this one, like we having 0 volt here. Here we are getting the the electrons. Okay, this is just like this, high concentration of electron, high voltage, low voltage, and the depletion region is just changing like this one. Okay, like this is the 0 volt and this is the high value, and the difference between the high and low value is the built-in potential value delta V, which is 0.7 volt. Okay, for the silicon. Okay, but how we can actually determine this barrier potential value? Okay, so it will depend on the properties of the chosen semiconductor material, right? So which kind of semiconductor material we are choosing? Okay, what is the concentration of the acceptor and ions? What is the concentration of the donor ions? Okay, what is the intrinsic carrier concentration? So it will depend on all these parameters. Okay, so this is the formula for the barrier potential. Okay, VBI. So here we are having K is just the Boltzmann constant. Okay, T is the temperature in Kelvin, and usually we take 300 Kelvin, and Q is the charge of the electron, and the usual value is 1.69 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. So if you just plug in all these values, okay, so this value will come about 0.026 volt, and we represent using VT. So VT natural log of Na and D over Ni square. So Na is the acceptor ion concentration, and D is the donor ion concentration, and Ni is the intrinsic carrier concentrations. So if we know these things, we can calculate the barrier potential. Okay, and the other thing is what is the width of the depletion region. Okay, for example, we get this depletion region. So we know that we can get the barrier potential, and also what is the width of this depletion region. So width of this depletion region, it can be calculated using this formula. So here we have another parameter which is called permittivity of the material. So permittivity of the silicon material, this is the value of that. Charge, concentration of acceptor and donor ions, and the barrier potential, which we calculate from the last equation from this one. Okay, so from these formulas we can calculate the width of the depletion region. Okay, so this is one example. I would recommend you to try this at home, and we will try to solve this in the live session. Okay, thank you very much for your time here, and see you in the live session.